guys, maybe you don't know, some of you, I ran into a guy today who realized that it's, this primary is just one primary. It's not separated into the Democratic and Republican parties.
First time in the governor's race this has happened.
Everybody's on the same ballot. The top two go on in November. So theoretically, both Tim Donnelly and Neel Kashkari could be 1 and 2 and end up meeting each other again in November. But odds are Jerry Brown's going to get in there, and odds are one of these two men will fight him in November. And so that's why we're debating. So let's continue.
Yeah, and that's a perfect segue to my question, which we'll start with Tim. I mean, I'm serious about this. I want to beat Jerry Brown. But this is not 2003. Ray Davis is not governor. We don't have the same deficit problem we had then, and all the problem with the electricity crisis. Everything went on. We don't have Schwarzenegger all his money. You know where I'm going with this. Tim, if you do finish second, and I'm amazed and I'm very glad that you did finish second in a lot of polls right now. You're showing up second. I think that's great. And you're the candidate against Jerry Brown. My question is, how do you beat him? How are you going to get over people that are not your staunch Republican conservatives, and they call them Tea Party supporters? You've got to go beyond that. What are you going to do?
Well, absolutely. Look, here's the deal. We have over 50 locations right now where people are walking door to door. We've got over 1,000 people in this state that are going to help me walk California. Well, you know what? After the primary, should I advance, and I believe that I will, I am not going to be walking just to Republican doors. I'm walking into communities that Republicans haven't been to in years. And you know what? Jerry Brown is not going to show up. He doesn't feel like he has to. And I don't think he understands what can happen when you're so arrogant. When you look at what he has done to this state and the way it has affected people. He took us from first to last in the past 40 years in everything that matters. We were first in education, and now we're circling the drain, competing with Alabama and Mississippi and losing. You know what? That matters to people. And we need common sense education reform, not Common Core.
How are you going to, if you become the Republican, will you become the number 1 or number 2 candidate representing the Republican Party? Both of you have name recognition problems. How are you going to expand beyond that 28% Republican base that you talked about in your opening statement?
1992, George Herbert Walker Bush had a 90% approval rating coming out of the Gulf War. No Democrat, credible Democrat, dared challenge him. Just this little-known governor from this little-known state of Arkansas named Bill Clinton. You remember what Bill Clinton said? He said, "It's the economy, stupid." And he focused like a laser on the struggles of middle-class families in America in 1992. And what did he do? He unfortunately went and beat them. Well, the middle class of California has been destroyed over the past 30 or 40 years. My entire campaign is about rebuilding the middle class through a good education and a good job. And I'm going to focus like a laser.
Let's talk about education, because there was a headline the other day that an abysmally low percentage of California students are proficient in math and reading, and we spend more money than we ever have. Most of it goes to teachers, administrators, and staff. That's 75–80% of the budget in every school district. It's for their salaries, their pensions, their health care. It doesn't go to the kids. It goes to the teachers and the administrators. That's where it goes. And they're making good money. The teachers are usually number 2 or number 1 in the country. So when you talk about this, given the limited powers of government, how do you change it? Because the kids clearly are not learning. They're not performing well by any metric. And you've got the teachers union buying every charlatan off in Sacramento. So what are you going to do when you sit there?
So I have a very specific education plan that's focused on putting the power and the money that we spend in the hands of our parents to let them decide how we educate our kids. You know what? I want to let our schools bring vocational training back into the school. Not every kid is going to go to college. The kids that don't, they matter too. Let's bring welding back. Let's bring machine shop class back, and let the parents decide how to bring it. Here's the thing. We need legislation, but if the legislature blocks us, the governor of California has extraordinary power if he has the courage to use it. The governor has a line on a veto. The President of the United States does not have that. The governor has the ability to go right to you, the voters, with a ballot measure and overrule the legislature. The President of the United States does not have that. I will use every power of my office to reach the voters, to make the changes, to make sure no child goes with a bad education the way
Get rid of AB 32!
Well, the first thing is your zip code shouldn't determine your future. And we have millions of kids trapped in failing schools. We need to have school choice. And you know what? There was a study that just came out that said that California has the most segregated schools in the country. Well, that's a shame, because education is the absolute key to success, but Jerry Brown and the Teachers Union have knocked out the bottom 3 rungs of that ladder. And the way we fix it is real simple. We need to start by respecting teachers. We've got teachers that are in a system that's designed to fail. We need to come up with a fair way to evaluate teachers. That way we can pay the good teachers more. We can get the great teachers to travel around the state teaching their teaching methods to all the other teachers, just like we do in the business world. And then, if the teachers have bought into this fair way of evaluating them, we'll have a fair way to get rid of the teachers who never should have spent a single moment in a classroom with our kids, so we can put the students first instead of the union.
With the Ayers Hotel in Anaheim on Catella, we have Tim Donnelly, the Assemblyman, taking on Neel Kashkari of this debate.
Neel Kashkari!
San Diego County Sheriff Bill Gore says nearly 13,000 more people in San Marcos have been told to leave their homes.